Zoom's not going away anywhere anytime soon, right? It's one of these companies people are going to look back on as being part of the revolution and the shift towards just kind of how people communicate. But I do think there's going to be major focus in the next 6 months. Clearly, the COVID narrative has shifted to the vaccine from lockdowns, schools, remote learning. Schools will be open. Colleges, campuses across the country will continue to reopen. And I think uses in terms of just when it comes to education and personal will decline. And Zoom's going to become very more heavily reliant on kind of on the enterprise side of things. So it'll be interesting to see how that holds up. But in terms of the quarter, the company crushed it, but they just were a victim of their own success. Revs fell well short of buy-side expectations. That creeped up to over 800 million for the quarter. The rev beat in itself was only about 11%. We got used to 20% plus beats, and EPS beat was only 32%, which is massive. But in the prior quarters, we saw 100% plus beats on the earnings front as well. Yeah. So again, just couldn't meet those high hurdles, and here we are. And you look at the stock; it's kind of been making lower highs going back to when it peaked in mid-October. And if it can't find support around $400 or around the 100-day, I think it's in for some pain in the near term.
Those numbers are so spectacular that any other company, Joel, would trip over itself to have them. That's the weird thing. You just wonder, this growth that we just talked about was priced in by the smart money back in July and August, probably, if not sooner than that.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, Zoom right now, we'll see how the stock acts today, but this is going to be a big problem, I think, for a lot of the names in the software cloud complex in 2021. We all know that cloud spending has been pulled forward by 2 to 3 years. Now these companies are going to have to kind of grow into their multiples and valuations that the street has kind of put a tag on. And I think that's why people are looking for other pockets of the market, specifically within tech. What are potentially better opportunities? I'd argue, the next 20%, I think you have a better chance of buying Bitcoin or some of these EV plays or solar, or even still in the semiconductor chain than Zoom going 20% higher from here. So I think that's going to be the biggest challenge in 21 for the story stocks and the winners of 2020. What's going to be the next catalyst to kind of push it higher?
Yeah, sorry to jump in here, Joe. We got to wrap it up. Is there any kind of a buyout bid in a Zoom price, a protection, a bottom? And I don't mean now, okay, because I don't know how many people are going to come in and buy Zoom at these prices. We all see what's coming. No offense to Zoom. I hope I never have another Zoom or Skype or Microsoft Teams meeting again. I want to do it in person. But at some point, would the stock get cheap enough that a Microsoft might come a-calling, if you know what I mean? Roll it into Teams.
Potentially. I mean, potentially, people were kind of, leaving Slack to die, not that long ago. And then here comes Salesforce kind of out of the blue to kind of scoop them up in an effort to kind of defend, their turf versus Microsoft, funny enough. But you never know, right? Google has a ton of cash. They could make a move if they want to beef up some of their offerings. You never know what Microsoft would do. I haven't really heard it, Zoom as a takeout candidate, especially not now, as you said, kind of trading at 47 times sales. But there's a price for everything, so you never know. It is a revolutionary product, and it's pretty impressive. Within 9 months, they're becoming a noun and a verb all in one, and it's an incredible story.
They really
but again,
they
probably need to see the stock come in a lot more before you start M&A. Becomes a reality or even a talking point.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.